at stage 3, paragraph page 195. Last head word was did. Okay, stage 3,
Mhm.
195. Last head word was did. New word type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. First question. Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Yes or no?
No, I'm not nearly
Always the last person
always the
to
last
get up
person
in
to
my
get up
family.
in my family.
My
My father
is nearly
is
always the last
nearly
person
always
to get
the
up
last
in my
person to
family.
get up in my family.
Very good. Okay, what's the negative of I was? What's the negative of I was? The negative
The
of I
negative
was
of
is I
our
wasn't.
husband,
What's the negative of you were? What's the negative of you were? The negative of you
negative of
were is you
I
weren't.
is you want.
Was I at this school 50 years ago? Was I at this school 50 years ago? No, you
No, you
weren't
want
at this school
this
50 years
school
ago.
3 years ago.
Were you here 100 years ago? Were you here 100 years ago? No, I
No,
wasn't here
or
a
no,
hundred
I was
years
here
ago.
100 years ago.
Very good. Was she in a different classroom last lesson? Was she in a different classroom last lesson? Yes or no?
Yes,
She
she is in the
was. She
she
was in a
was
different classroom
in the different
last
classroom
lesson.
lesson.
Were we in this world 90 years ago? Were we in this world 90 years ago? Yes or no?
No,
We
we
weren't
weren't
in this world
this
90
were
years ago.
90 years ago.
Were good. Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? No, they
No,
weren't
they were
outside the
outside
classroom during the last
classroom
lesson. They were
during the last
lesson.
lesson.
They were inside.
They were inside.
Very good. Are there any fields near where you live? Are there any fields near where you live? Yes or no?
No,
There aren't
there are
any fields
fields near
near where I live.
near where I live.
Very good. Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Yes, the
No,
number. Oh, no, no. The number of people
the
in my
number of
town
people in my town
is not always
is
increasing.
always increasing.
Very good. There a lot of battles in a war? Are there a lot of battles in a war? Yes, there
Yes,
are a
there
lot of
is
battles
a
in a war.
battle in the war.
Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Yes, there
Yes,
were
there
a lot of
there
battles
were
in Europe
the battles in
during the
Europe
Second World
during
War.
the Second World War.
Very good. Where's my left hand? Where's my left hand? Your left hand's over the book.
Your left hand
Over the
over
book.
the book.
Where's my right hand? Where's my right hand? Your right
Your
hand's
right
over the pen.
hand, the pen.
Where's my left hand now? Where's my left hand now? Your left hand's on the book
Hands on the
now.
now.
Very good. Where's my right hand? Where's my right hand? Your right hand's over
Right
the pen now.
hand now.
Very good. Why do we say my left hand is on the book but my right hand is over the pen? Why do we say my left hand is on the book but my right hand is over the pen? We say
You
your left
say
hand is
your
on the book
hand
but
is on the
your
book.
right hand is over the pen, but your right
So I
hand.
couldn't. Sorry, I couldn't catch. Sorry.
Okay, one more. We say your left
We-
hand is
Your
on the
left
book,
hand.
is
I
on the
think
book.
my
Oh, let's
Wi-Fi issue.
let's reconnect. Okay, here we go. One moment. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
one more. We say your left
We
hand
say
is
your
on the
left
book,
hand is on the
but
book,
your right hand is
but your
over
right
the
hand
pen
is over the pen
because your left hand
because
is
left
not
hand
covering the
is
book
covering
completely,
the book completely,
whereas your right hand's
whereas your right
covering the
hand
pen
covers
completely.
the pen completely.
Very good. What's over our heads? What's over our heads? The ceilings
The
over our
ceiling is
heads.
over our heads.
What's over your building? What's over your building? The skies
The
over my
sky
building.
is
Over
over
my
our
building.
building, over my building.
Very good. Where's my right hand? Where's my right hand? Your right
The
hand's
right
over the
hand
pen.
over the pen.
Very good. Where's my left hand? Where's my left hand? Your left
Your
hand's
left hand
over your
over
mouth.
your mouth.
Very good. Do you think it's a bad idea to go to England if you want to learn English well? Do you think it's a bad idea to go to England if you want to learn English well? No, I
No,
don't
I
think
don't
it's
think
a
it's
bad
a bad
idea
idea
to go to England
to go
if
to
I
England
want to
if
learn
I want
English well.
to do
I
well.
think it's a good
I
idea.
think it's a good idea.
Very good. Do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Yes,
Yes,
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
a
a
good
good
idea
idea.
to learn
I
some English
some
before
English
going to England.
before going to England.
Very good. Does it often snow in the warm countries of the world? Does it often snow in the warm countries of the world? No, it
No, it
doesn't
doesn't
often snow
know
in the
in
warm
the
countries of the world.
warm countries of the
It
world.
rarely snows in the
It
warm
really snows
countries
in
of the
the
world.
warm countries of the world.
Is it very often cold in Africa? Is it very often cold in Africa? No, it
No, it
isn't
isn't often warm
cold
in the
in
Africa.
Africa. In
Cold
Africa,
in Africa.
it's very rarely
It's
cold
very really
in
cold.
Africa. Okay, so you only put the in a country if the country is plural, like the Philippines, the United
Mm,
States of America. But Africa is just
mm,
singular, so the no more the in Africa.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
very good. Do you often go to the theater? Do you often go to the theater? Yes or no?
No, I don't go to
I don't
often.
often go to the theater.
No, I don't often go to the
I
theater.
rarely go to the theater.
I rarely go to the theater.
Very good. Does the sun often shine in the north of Europe in winter? Does the sun often shine in the north of Europe in winter? No, the
No,
sun
the
doesn't
sun
often shine
doesn't
in the north
often
of Europe,
in the
north of Europe in
north
winter.
of Europe in winter.
It rarely shines.
It really shines.
Very good. Do you understand two people when they speak very quickly in English? Do you understand two people when they speak very quickly in English? No, I
No,
don't
I don't
understand
understand
two people when
when
they
two
speak very
people when they
quickly in
speak very
English.
quickly in English.
Do you understand everything I say during the lesson? Do you understand everything I say during the lesson? Yes or no?
No, I don't
Understand
understand
everything you say
everything
during the
you say
lesson,
during the
but I
lesson,
understand
but I
nearly
understand
everything you say.
everything you say.
If the first time you don't understand a question, the teacher asks you, what must you do? If the first time you don't understand a question, the teacher asks you, what must you do? If the first time I don't
If the first
understand
time I don't
a
understand
question, the
a
teacher asks
question, the
me,
teacher
I
asks
must
me,
ask him to repeat it.
to repeat it.
What exactly do you say to him? What exactly do you say to him? I say, I'm sorry.
I say,
I don't
I say, sorry,
I
I
don't
don't
understand the question.
understand the
Will you
question.
repeat it, please?
Would you repeat it, please?
Very good. Do you think it's easy to stop smoking? Do you think it's easy to stop smoking? Yes or no?
I think it's not easy to stop smoking.
Very good. What does the verb to talk mean? What does the verb to talk mean? The verb to talk
The verb
means to
to
speak.
talk means to speak.
Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? Yes or no?
No, I
I,
don't talk with.
to my
I
friends on
don't
my
talk to my
mobile every day.
mobile every day.
Very good. What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? If I start talking
If
to
I
the
start
student
talking to
next
the
to me
student
during the
next
lesson,
to me during
the
the
teacher
lesson,
generally
the
asks
teacher
me to
generally
stop
asks me
talking.
to stop the talking.
Is it right to say I am talking English? Is it right to say I am talking English? No, it isn't
No,
right
it
to say
isn't
I am
right to
talking
say I
English.
am talking
It's
English.
wrong.
It's wrong.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say,
We
I'm
must say
speaking English
I'm
instead.
speaking English instead.
Can you hear any voices in the next room? Can you hear any voices in the next room? Yes or no?
No, I can't hear anything
Any voices
any voices
in the next
to
room?
the next room.
Very good. What's the past tense of the verb to do? What's the past tense of the verb to do? The past tense
The
of the
past
verb to do.
tense, the past tense,
The
the
past
past,
tense of the
the
verb
past tense of the verb
to do
to do
is did.
is did.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk about past tense of regular verbs. Okay, so repeat form,
For
regular,
regular,
how.
how.
Very good. Okay, so here we go. Did you walk a lot yesterday? Okay, repeat.
Yes.
Repeat. Did you walk a lot yesterday?
Did you walk a lot yesterday?
Yes, I walked a lot yesterday.
Yes, I walked a lot yesterday.
So if the answer is positive, so there's past tense. I walked a lot yesterday. If the answer is negative, there's no past tense. No, I did not walk a lot yesterday. Okay,
Mhm.
let's practice. Oh no, listen first. Okay, so we form the past tense of regular verbs by putting the letters ed at the end. For example, walk, walk, talk, talk, work, work. We say I generally work a lot or I walk a lot yesterday. Let's practice. How do we form the past tense of regular verbs? How do we form the past tense of regular verbs? We form the
We
past
form
tense of
the past
regular
tense of
verbs
the regular
by
verbs
putting the
by
letters
putting the
ed
letter
at the end.
ed at the end.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. For example, walk,
For
walked.
example, walk,
I
walked.
generally walk to school.
I generally walk to
I
school.
walked to school yesterday.
I walked to school yesterday.
Very good. Okay, when we say regular verbs, the second form and the third form are the same. The past and the past participle are the same. Okay, like walk, walked, walk, like that. Okay, did you watch television last week? Did you watch television last week? Yes, I watched
Yes, I
television
watched
last week.
television last week.
Did you walk to school yesterday? Did you walk to school yesterday? Yes or no?
No,
I
I didn't
didn't
walk
walk to school
to
yesterday.
school yesterday.
What did you use to answer that last question? What did you use to answer the last question? I used my
I
voice
used
to
my
answer the
voice
last
to
question.
answer the last question.
When did last season end? When did last season end? Last season
Last
ended on the
season
month
ended
of
in the month of
March, right? Spring ended in March, April, May. Like June. Yeah, spring ended in
June. Yes,
June. Very good.
yes, June.
Did you work last month? Did you work last month? Yes, I
Yes,
worked
I
last month.
worked last month.
How long did last season last? How long did last season last? Last season lasted
Last
about
season
3 months.
lasted about 3 months.
Did you live at home with your parents when you were a small child? Did you live at home with your parents when you were a small child? Yes, I
Yes,
lived at
I
home
lived with,
with my
at
parents
home with my
when I
parents
was a small
when I
child.
was a small child.
Did you move any parts of your body during the last lesson? Did you move any parts of your body during the last lesson? Yes, I
Yes,
moved
I
some
moved
parts of my
some
body
parts of my body
during the
during.
last lesson. Very good. Okay, next, listen. We only put ed at the end of a verb in the positive sentence. Oh, here we go. To make questions and negative sentence, we use did and the infinitive without to. For example, did you work yesterday? So not past tense. No, I didn't work yesterday because it's negative. So we don't put ed like this. Okay,
Mhm.
let's practice. How do we make a negative sentence in the past tense? How do we make a negative sentence in the past tense? We make a negative
We make
sentence
a
in the
negative
past
sentence
tense
in the
by
past tense
using the word
by
did
using the word
and
did
the infinitive
the
without to.
infinitive without to.
Without to. Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I didn't work
I
last
didn't work
Saturday.
last Saturday.
Very good. How do you make a question in the past tense? How do you make a question in the past tense? We make a question
We
in the
make a
past tense
question in
by
the past
using
tense
the word
by
did
using the word
and the
did
infinitive
and
without to.
infinitive without to.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Did you work last
Did you
Saturday?
work last Saturday?
Very good. Did I ask you 1,000 questions last lesson? Did I ask you 1,000 questions last lesson? No. You
No, you
didn't ask
didn't
me
ask
a thousand
thousand.
questions.
Me asked me. No, you
No, you
didn't ask
didn't
me
ask me a
thousand
thousand questions. Last
questions.
lesson.
Last lesson.
Did last lesson end at 11 p.m.? Did last lesson end at 11 p.m.? No, last
No,
lesson
last
didn't end
lesson
at
didn't
11
end
p.m.
p.m.
It ended at
It ended at
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Yeah, very good. Did you talk to anybody in your family last week? Did you talk to anybody in your family last week? Yes or no?
Yes, I
I
talked
talked
with
to,
my family.
I talked
Anybody,
to somebody
somebody. I talked to somebody
in
of my
my
family
family last week.
last week.
Very good. Okay, did you call anybody on your mobile phone yesterday? Did you call anybody on your mobile phone yesterday? Yes or no?
No, I didn't call nobody.
Anybody
No, I
on
didn't
my
call
mobile phone
on my mobile phone.
yesterday? Did you want to come to school today? Did you want to come to school today? Yes or no?
Yes, I wanted to come to school today.
Today. Very good. Next, repeat. Tree.
Three.
Very good. Okay, listen. Tree is a noun. Okay, for example, so this is a tree. Okay, everybody knows what a tree is. Okay. There are some trees behind the Brown family. I can see some trees from where I'm sitting. Let's practice. Can you see any trees from where you're sitting? Can you see any trees from where you're sitting? Yes or no?
No, I can't see any
Any
trees
trees from where I'm
uh,
sitting?
from where I'm sitting.
Very good. Next, repeat. Farm,
Arm,
pig,
pig,
cow,
cow,
sheep,
sheep,
chicken,
chicken,
horse.
horse.
Very good. Okay, listen. Farm, pig, cow, sheep, chicken, and horse are all nouns. For example, I don't live on a farm. I live in a city. We can see pigs, cows, sheep, chickens, and horses on a farm. The plural of pig is pigs. The plural of cow is cows. Chicken, chickens. Horse, horses. But the plural of sheep is sheep. It's the same. We don't add s. Sheep, sheep. Let's practice. Do you live on a farm? Do you live on a farm? No, I
No,
don't live
I
on a
don't think
farm.
on
Very good. What's the plural of sheep? What's the plural of sheep? The plural of sheep
the
is
plural
sheep.
of sheep is sheep.
Name some animals we can see on a farm. Name an animal, some animals we can see on a farm. On a farm, we can
On
see
the farm, we
pigs,
can see
cows,
pigs,
sheep,
cows,
chickens, and
chicken,
horses.
and horses.
Very good. Next, repeat. Peace.
Peace.
Very good. Okay, listen. Peace is a noun. Peace is the opposite of war. For example, there isn't peace between all the countries of the world at the moment. Let's practice. Is there peace between all the countries of the world at the moment? Is there peace between all the countries of the world at the moment? No,
No,
there
there
isn't
isn't
peace
peace
between all the countries
between all
of
the
the world
countries
at the
of
moment.
the world at the moment.
Very good. Next, repeat. Measure.
Measure.
Very good. Okay. Measure is a verb. For example, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. I'm measuring my pen. We can't measure the quantity of water in the sea. Let's practice. Can we measure exactly the quantity of water in the sea? Can we measure exactly the quantity of water in the sea? No, we can't
No, we
measure
cannot
exactly
measure
the quantity of
exactly
water
the,
in the sea.
the quantity of the water in the sea.
Very good. Next, repeat. Necessary.
Necessary.
Very good. Okay, listen. Necessary is an adjective. It is the synonym of important. For example, we can say, it's important to study a lot if you want to learn a language well. Or we can say, it's necessary to study a lot if you want to learn a language well. Okay, let's practice. Is it necessary to study a lot if you want to learn a subject well? Is it necessary to study a lot if you want to learn a subject well? Yes,
Yes,
it's
it's
necessary to
necessary
study a
to
lot if
study
we want
if
to
we
learn
want
a
to
subject
learn
well.
a subject well.
Very good. Okay, next last one. Repeat. Pay.
Pay,
Cash.
cash,
Card.
card,
Waiter.
waiter,
Waitress.
Waitress.
Very good. Okay, listen. Pay is a verb. It means to give money to somebody for something that we receive. Cash means money. A credit card or weekend card we use to buy things that we agree to pay later. When we have a meal in a restaurant, we sometimes pay by cash. Sometimes we pay by card. A waiter or waitress takes the money or card from us. Okay, let's practice. When you have a meal in a restaurant, do you generally pay by cash or by card? When you have a meal in a restaurant, do you generally pay by cash or by card? When I have a meal
When I
in a
have a
restaurant,
meal in the
I
restaurant,
generally pay
I
by,
generally pay by card.
and who takes the card from you? And who takes the card from you? The waiter or
The
waitress
waiter
takes
or
the
waitress
card from me.
a card from me.
Very good. Okay, now let's move on to your favorite part, reading. Okay.
Okay.
Reading is at stage 3, paragraph page 150. Last headword was proceed. Okay, start with headword when.
150?
150. Okay, the last headword when.
Okay.
Mhm,
When do you have your breakfast? I have my breakfast at 7. What does the when does the lesson begin? The lesson begins at 7. When do you get up in the morning? I get up at 6 in the morning.
mhm.
Whilst. What other words can we use instead of whereas? We can use while and whilst instead of whereas. Which word do you use?
Do we?
No. Which word do we use the most when we speak? We generally use whereas the most in when we speak.
Mhm,
Old, new. Is this an old building we are in at the moment? Yes, this is an old building we are in at the moment. Are your shoes new? Yes, my shoes are new. Older than, newer than. Is your shirt older than your shoes? No, my shirt isn't older than my shoes. It's newer than my shoes. The oldest, the newest. What's the newest thing you're wearing? My
mhm.
glasses is
Are
newest thing I'm
are the
wearing.
newest thing.
My glasses are the newest thing I'm wearing.
Very good.
Uh,
Old,
I
young.
cannot.
152. You can't open it?
No, I can't.
Okay, so well then, let's
151? Me?
152.
No, I can't. Sorry.
Oh, it's not opening. Okay, well then, let's move on to Newark again. Okay? Okay, let me
Okay.
just take note of that. Okay, so let's continue 199. Okay, one moment.
Mm,
Okay, here you go. Okay, let's start. Okay, repeat along.
alone.
Very good. Okay, listen. Along is a preposition. It means from one part of a street, road, river, etc. to another. For example, if I want to go from here to the station, I must go along ABC Street. There's a white line along the road from here to the next town. Okay, let's practice. If I want to go from there to the station, must I go along ABC Street? If I want to go along from there to the station, must I go along ABC Street? Yes. If you want
Yes,
to
if
go
you
from
want
here.
from here,
Okay, but we can't start anymore.
yeah,
Let's stop there
we
and
have
see
to
you again tomorrow